Hi, in this video we will see how to create this anchor using Rhino Emboss. I've previously created all these curves as you can see, and the idea is to use Rhino Emboss to create the 3D model from this curve. So let's see how to do it. The first step, use the Emboss tool. I'm going to define the project settings. So I can define the work area. As you can see, I can define any working area, and then the resolution of the project, and of course I can define if I want to delete the base and if I want how I want to define the cap and position and material. So after this I have available the Rhino Emboss, and I'm going to start by add a new operation. So in the first operation I'm going to use the operation by profile, and I'm going to select one curve. So this is the first curve, and now in here I can define all the parameters. So I'm going to start by define a different profile. When I click in here I have several profiles available, and I'm going to use this one. Now I can use the gimbal to edit, or even the parameters from here. So as you can see, I can edit from here and the gimbal is changing, or edit directly in the gimbal. The operation style is add, and now I can refresh to see the results. As you can see, now I have the profile added to this curve, and as you can see, if I want to change a little bit, I can use the gimbal to adjust a little bit like this, back to refresh, and see the changes. So this is the idea. So let's move forward. Now I want to add a new operation, and the curves are these two curves. So the operation type is by profile, and the parameters I want to use 4.5 and style add. Okay, as you can see, now I just need to refresh to recalculate the results, and as I choose add, now it adds the previous profile to the second one. So if I want to avoid this part, I just need to click on the profile, and I'm going to choose union. So now when I refresh, as you can see, I just have the two parts. Other important thing is, as you can see, now I have in a sharp edge in here. So if I want a round shape, I just need to adjust the gimbal a little bit, like in the middle more or less, and refresh. As you can see, it's still with a sharp edge. I'm going to do a little bit more, refresh again, and now it's almost round. I can adjust a little bit more, refresh again, and as you can see, now it's perfect. So this is the idea. I can use the gimbals to edit. Of course I can also use all the parameters from here. So let's go to the next operation. In the next operation I'm going to create one extrusion. So I'm going to choose extrude, and the curve to extrude is this one. So I just need to define the parameters. In here I'm going to define one extrusion with 3.5 millimeters, and I'm going to define union. So I just need to refresh, and as you can see, the extrusion was added. Now I want to add a new operation. I'm going to select this curve and this curve. The operation is by profile, and the parameters I want to subtract. So I'm going to choose subtract, the distance 1 millimeter, and I can change the profile for something like this. Okay, now I just adjust a little bit with the gimbal, so I just need to refresh to see the results. As you can see, now I have the profile added. So let's move on, and the next step, I'm going to create an operation with this curve. So I'm going to add new operation. The curve is selected, so automatically appears here. So I just want to define the parameters. I want first of all to define operation type extrude, and I'm going to define the extrude distance. In here, I'm going to choose 5 millimeters and union style of operation. So just refresh to see the results, and as you can see, I already have one. I can select this now, the other group, a new operation, and now I'm going to define extrude as well, and the parameters I'm going to choose 3 millimeters and, or let me try with 3.5, and I'm going to choose union. So let's refresh to see the results. Okay, so now I want to create an operation with these curves are grouped. So I just need to add a new operation, extrude again, and the parameters I'm going to define with 3 millimeters. So in this case, again, union I, and just need to refresh to check the results. So the last curve is this one. So I'm going to select again a new operation, and again operation extrude. So just need to define 2.5, and style I'm going to define union. So let's take a look. So as you can see, now the curves were correctly added. So the last one, I'm going to hide the result just to select these curves, and now I'm going to add a new operation. So this operation by profile, and I'm going to define the parameters 1 millimeter 8. Okay, in this case I prefer to use the gimbal, so I'm going to adjust with the gimbals, so something like this. And let's take a look, the operation style add. Okay, so now let's just refresh to check the results. Okay, as you can see, now the curves were successful added. I can add a little bit more, so 1.5 I think is enough, and refresh again. Okay, and this is the idea. Now I'm going to change the display mode just to approve the operation and see the results. So before save and convert into a mesh, I'm going to show one other option we have. Of course, we can save the project or save a fill image. Okay, I'm going to save this image as an example, and now I have available one image that can be used as a texture, for instance. So this is the idea. We can create also images from our reliefs, but in this case I just want to add the mesh, so I just check here, And here it is. As you can see, the mesh was successful created, and now I have my object, my anchor, ready. So this is the idea. We can create our reliefs based on curves, and we just need to define the parameters to define our model. I hope you like it, and thanks for watching.